So a massive crime wave has hit Vegas, and it could very well impact you. We got a huge influx of thefts over the last year, whereas every other type of crime seems to be down. We learned something from the T-Mobile store today that is absolutely bone-chilling. Let's explore how you need to keep yourself safe in this town, especially if you're coming in this so-called new economy that we're living in. What's going on, guys? This is Steven. This is NLLV, where we take a look at the economy at whole, based out here in Sin City, Las Vegas, and we see what your vacations and what your experiences are like. And as I was in T-Mobile, I was learning from the manager of the overall retail location. And mind you, this is one of the busiest T-Mobile locations on the planet Earth, bar none, being on the Las Vegas Strip. Listen to what she said.
Question, because we know how we have a lot of our customers are lost and stolen phones. What do you say, like, monthly that we help customers for lost and stolen?
Like on average?
Yeah.
That's tough. Sometimes we'll have like concerts and comments.
Depending
just
on
spikes up. You got the influx of those customers.
Like EDC is the worst.
But EDC, I swear maybe in that weekend alone would do like 100 phones.
100 phones just in one weekend?
Yes.
And
yes.
I mean,
Sell out.
And that's just T-Mobile customers.
Yeah,
it's crazy. So there's Verizon and
people that like, oh, for Verizon, I lost my phone. Oh, just switch over. I didn't.
Yeah, it's so sad. It's so sad.
Wow.
And these people are here, they have no family, and they have no way of contacting, their rights on there. It's so hard because you're trying to empathize with them, but try to keep calm. It's a lot of that.
And the truth is, thefts like this are becoming more and more standard across the country as the economy seemingly falls apart for the regular person. I'm going to move because this man is screaming curse words at the air, and the last thing I want is for him to scream curse words while he is punching me. Because according to CBS News, nearly 59% of people in this country say that they couldn't cover a $1,000 emergency expense like medical or a home repair with a pipe scopers. And according to financial website Empower.com, nearly 37% of people in this country could not shoulder a $400 emergency expense, let alone even have $600 in savings in their bank account. People are starting to live check to check, and that causes desperation. And it's also important to note that somebody who is coming from a very high trust culture or society to Vegas is not thinking in terms like a thief. You literally have to think like a thief in order to get in and out of the Strip alive. And in this video, we're going to teach you how to do that. But if you're coming from a place where you have very low crime, very trusting society, maybe you're coming from a small town in Iowa, maybe you're coming from Canada, maybe you're coming from a place like Japan. Well, if you're coming from those places, then you're used to low levels of crime. You're used to being able to leave devices out, to leave your handbag on the table. All that goes off the table, the proverbial table in Vegas, when you come into town. You have to think like a criminal. For example, this gentleman over here with his bag just sitting on the wall. Yes, he's a homeless guy, but if he weren't, this bag sitting there is a massive liability. It's a liability in the sense that somebody will just come by and snatch it from behind him and run back into the street. So welcome to the Miracle Mile Shops, and welcome to what used to be one of the most popular restaurants in the entire city, Pompous Brazilian Steakhouse. Now, I want you to imagine a pre-COVID Vegas where every single table was absolutely booked and teeming with people. People who would fill up all of these tables here right by that door that goes out to Harmon Avenue. And the scam was simple. As you're eating and you're enjoying your food, little do you know that there is a monster, a vampire, a bloodsucker of society, a thief, waiting right over there by the U.S. Polo Association. Before you know it, that person runs in, sprints as fast as they can, plucks your valuable item off the table, and runs out the doors. You'll never see these people ever again, and the police don't have the resources to actually arrest anybody or do a full investigation. Before you know it, you end up at the T-Mobile store reporting that your device was snatched and grabbed with your entire life gone. And once they're gone, they're gone. I'm standing on the corner of East Harmon Ave and Audrey Lane right here. And after this, it's nothing but temporary housing, weekly hotel rooms. And it's not as though the police want to do nothing about the crimes, but put yourself into the position of LVMPD, or as we call them around here, Metro. A main issue is simply people power. Metro only has so many people on staff, and they have to triage their cases. They have to deal with serious crimes first. Things like DUIs, things like brutal, violent crimes. These are what's always going to take precedent. So when you call the police and say that your phone worth $500 was swiped or that your handbag was taken, they're going to take the report. But do they have the power to do the investigation? The answer written into the law is simply no, they don't. And so whether or not it's retail theft crime rings or people that are just doing snatch and grabs on the strip, society has shifted to where people are living in desperate times. We gave you the statistics on savings accounts and on people who can't suffer a simple emergency expense. All that has to do a lot with the economy that we're living in. So I ask you, what are you guys doing to combat the economy? One thing that I do is I get up in the morning and I trade those markets, and I've been doing it for a long time. As a matter of fact, keep this channel free from sponsorships and keep you knowing that these casino companies can't pay me money. I created my own product that might really help you if you've ever been interested in that. So serious question for you. If you could get up in the morning and potentially make 50 bucks here, 100 bucks there, if you guys could learn what I do to trade the markets, where maybe you could pay some bills, possibly even pay your rent, maybe you become Neo from the Matrix, you are the one Neo, would that be life-changing for you? Does that sound like something you're interested in? And if the answer is yes, then listen up. That's why I created 1K a day, which is my own course that's going to teach you how to analyze market structure and teach you how to see the same 3 or 4 things that happen every single day on a chart, so you can potentially make some money for yourselves on these markets, while usually that's reserved just for the billionaire fat cats. So I want you to head on over to 1kaday.diy and type in the code 8 at checkout. We only have 10 spots. They let me let in 10 people a day when I do these videos or live streams, and you're going to get it for 90% off. That's less than the cost of a pair of AirPods Pros, and you're going to own it for life at that price. I'm supposed to increase the price next week because I keep putting out 20-minute long videos day by day, but get it now while it lasts and learn more than most of your friends on this stuff. Heck, probably all your friends. And do something good with yourself, because right now, if the economy keeps going south, you don't want to find yourself the victim of crime in Vegas. And about that crime, is it really crime rings? Where is it the worst? So one hypothesis on retail theft, crime, and petty theft in Vegas is that things are happening in crime rings. And the rings would look something like this. It all starts with things like boosters. And these are people that walk into shops and just clandestinely take items out of the shops. This is anything from, hockey jerseys, football sweaters, little bits of jewelry. And they're really good at it, too. I used to know a guy on the Las Vegas Strip that did this to great effect, mostly to fuel a drug habit. These boosters then go to their fence. And the fence is somebody who they sell the items to, who can then liquidate them on sites like Facebook Marketplace and on eBay. Now, eBay has recently, in the last few years, cracked down on these kinds of things, and if they see certain patterns, they'll try to shut the auctions down. But at the same time, money is money. And then we get to the lowest of low, which is the ones that'll target you the most, which are just people just trying to get their money, just trying to get their fix, stealing your used items for petty cash. Yeah, these are just the pickpockets, the thieves, the opportunists who are out to just steal your personal items, which then again get flipped on Facebook Marketplace or simply taken to a pawn shop and liquidated. Now, the police do check those pawn shops, so if you do have something that's reported, it is a good idea to file a police report here, and who knows, maybe if somebody takes the item to a pawn shop, it actually has a serial number, it actually gets detected, you might be one of the rare few that actually get your item back in the future. But again, based on my experience and a break-in that we had around this town, certainly don't count on it. And what's really weird about all this is that even though retail theft and pickpocketing and people losing their stuff on the strip is up, other things like violent crimes in Vegas are actually down, down, down. I made a video covering this that proves and shows through the numbers that coming to Vegas and being on the strip makes you safer against violent attacks and crimes than most places in the United States of America. Literally, any town USA could be more risky for getting mugged or beaten up than the Las Vegas Strip. So then that begs the question. With all of these crimes that they have reported and all the ones unreported, how do you keep yourself safe? So first and foremost, if you find yourself walking in a big crowd like I am right now, make sure your items are on the front of you, in your front pockets. Do not put things in your back pockets, because crowds like this have pickpockets in them. And pickpockets are masterful at being able to bump into you in just the right way, or maybe not bump into you at all, and simply take your stuff. So make sure your things are secured in your front pockets or deeply buried in a bag. And ladies, make sure if you do carry a bag, it's the kind of bag that can be zipped up or closed up somehow so people can't just dip in and take. And as already mentioned, if you're eating at a restaurant and your table faces out towards a ledge like this, just make sure your personal stuff is not sitting on the ledge of the table, because prying eyes become grabby hands real fast if you're not paying attention, and then you have a snatch and run like we described over at the Miracle Mile shops. And this is far more common than you would ever believe. Next up, we have transportation options in Vegas, like the bus stop you see beside me here. If you're going to be sitting playing on your phone, never put your stuff directly next to you on the bench. That means that you're not paying attention to your items, and before you know it, somebody plucks something and runs away with it, much like the scenario when you're dining at a restaurant. Second thing about the buses is, maybe don't take the bus, and if you do, make sure your items are in your pockets at all times. Full disclosure time, I actually got robbed on a bus in San Diego, California in my younger days. I had a video iPod in my hands, and as the bus came to a stop and the doors opened, somebody saw what I had, snatched it out of my hands, and ran off the backside of the bus. And lastly, I know you want to look wealthy in Vegas. You want to look fantastic, and flaunt it if you got it, to a point. Consider leaving your most valuable things at home entirely in a safe or a safety deposit box. If you come out here flashing $35,000 Rolex watches, $50,000 rings, and huge wads of cash, you can expect the potential for trouble to arise. So again, use your common sense, use these tips, and use Vegas as your adult playground. But don't let Vegas use you, and don't become a victim of crime. So at the end of the day, I guess these are tips and tricks that can be applied to anywhere in the world, but I want you guys to be better off than when you came into this video. So if you are 1% smarter at least, be sure to click subscribe and come back for more later. Again, I'm not here to make Vegas look glossy or glamorous. I'm here to tell you the real deal. And on this channel, I'm not sponsored by anybody. These casinos can't pay me money because I have my own sponsorship, my 1K a day DIY course. Code 8 if you want to get 90% off. But I want you guys to be better off in life, and I want you guys to do something special with yours. So that being said, thank you to all these special people right here. These are our Patreon members who help support this channel by checking us out on Patreon. They get extra content, their name in the credits, and I'll put an economic news playlist next up here so you guys can see what I've been talking about for the past 6 months or so. Before it was trendy to say that Vegas is dying, Vegas is abandoned, I've been analyzing this stuff for a very long time. Until the next time you see you, my name is Steven. This is Not Leaving Las Vegas, NLLV as we call it around here. And I look straight at the camera and I say 3, 2, 1, click. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, and click!